Hi, Sean.
Excuse me, I'm choking. Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting over a cold.
Oh.
It's like ever since my trip, I've just been like,
it's going around.
Yeah, I'm not into
There's like
it.
a lot of allergies. I woke up stuffy and, sneezing and runny nose. I've had a constant runny nose. And it's like another thing. My husband, he'll turn both air conditioning units upstairs and down like full blast. Then we have
you guys are downstairs.
Yeah, we're downstairs. We sleep downstairs. And then there's a portable unit that he put in the bedroom last year because our air conditioner went out for a couple weeks because it was like the hottest time of the year and the part was on back order. So we had like air conditioning, no air down there for 3 weeks. So we got this portable unit, which is great. So he'll turn that thing on full blast. I'm like, there's nobody in the room. He's like, I'm cooling it off. Okay. And then he has the fan on. Then he
takes a lot of energy.
He proceeds to go in the bed and covers himself up with blankets. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I feel comfortable in here. And I'm like, of course you do. And then we wake up with runny noses and sore throats. I'm like, because it's like the iceberg and the thing is so loud. But I'm glad that it's on that way because the ceiling is, we had like a toilet leak from the upstairs to the down and there's a leak. So I feel like the cold, the air conditioner stops the mold growing. So it's not moldy and it's all dried up. But I don't want my ceiling to cave in.
No, oh my gosh, no.
But I'm like, the power bill is going to be out of
control.
It's
going to be insane.
As long as he's comfortable.
And you have solar though, too.
We have solar, and I don't even know if it helps, to be honest. I mean, I think it does a little bit. I have to do the tactics. I've had it for about 3 years.
Yeah. Because can I ask, what is your electric bill? Like, is it a lot? Like...
No, the electric bill normally is $35.
Okay, so
and then there's panels you pay like $250 or something. Yeah. So it's like a constant bill. But then I did notice like sometimes in the summer and the heat, if you were running the heater, which he likes to blow that thing up too and run it like a typical old man. I'm like, I'm sweating. He's like, it's so cold in here. When I'm like, put some clothes on.
Does he like put the heat on upstairs too?
Oh yeah.
And you guys are down. You don't even come up here though.
He comes up here at night because he gets annoyed with me sleeping. So he leaves halfway through the night and he comes up here.
Yeah.
But I'm in the middle of like the hot flash. So I'm like, I don't want anybody near me. And it's so hot. But yeah, so in the winter, I did see the power bill go up to like $75.
Wow.
Because the $35 is a normal connection fee. Because you have to pay connection fee and then you pay like the taxes and stuff on it. So that's what that is. So eventually mine hasn't offset. So I haven't gotten like a negative bill. Yeah. Meaning like there's a credit on the file. Yeah. I haven't seen that yet.
In the 3 years.
Because
you guys use so much energy.
I guess we're using too much.
Yeah. Because it's only two of you.
It's only two people and we have this big ass house. It's too much, but
No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
The real estate market's crazy, so I can't.
It is. You guys are
so
good.
If I buy something else, I'm going to end up paying more.
The same or more. Yeah, it's true. That's very true.
So while you were on your trip, I went to this expo, or they called it a symposium, which is a new word that I learned.
I love that.
Yeah, and it was called Defend Her. And it was ran by Andy and Tim Tolbert, who are, real estate gurus in the community, but they also teach realtors and other people how to defend themselves in the event that they're in a situation that is unsafe.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to expect. It was a full day thing, and I was like, I'm probably going to leave early.
You're like, I'm just going to show up.
But I was so engaged. We got a notebook, we got a T-shirt, and I took notes. We got a certificate for completing the course. We also got a certificate for Stop the Bleed. So we are certified to stop the bleeding if somebody has a traumatic injury with, blood.
Like a bullet or
a stab wound or impaction or something like that. So I was really engaged with the whole thing. So we had a person talk about when you come home or you go somewhere, you should look at your surroundings so you can clear the room, they say, to see what's going on. If something's out of sort. So when you always come home, I don't know if you've ever come home and had like an eerie feeling.
Yes.
If you ever have that, just turn the lights on. It's probably just like
it's just in you.
It's just in you, but there's probably nothing there. But the only way you can see what's going on if you turn the lights on.
Yeah.
So they're just talking about when you go places to be aware. When you're at like a party or something. Make sure if you're drinking, like I always say, hold your drink. Like my son's like, don't worry, I won't put my drink down. Because you don't know what somebody can put into your drink.
People are weird. They're so weird.
Yeah. And that or it's just being aware if you're in a parking lot, where did you park? You know,
Yeah.
so when you come out, you know right where you're going. You know, because the people, predators are looking for opportunity. It's crimes are always opportunity driven. So it's a
Yeah.
crime of opportunity, right? Your car's unlocked. They're going to go wherever they can go fast. Lock your car doors, which I forget to do that all the time. Lock your car doors, know where you parked, know who the people that you're around. If you're around people that you know all the time, you're going to feel more comfortable and more laid back.
Yeah.
But if you're around people that you don't know, you kind of need to be a little bit more aware because you don't always know somebody's intentions.
That's very true. Even people you think you know very
Even
well.
people you think you know, they
Yeah.
always, you know, they can have an intention and you may not know them that well. Like you may have talked to them several times, but they, you know, you don't know.
No,
it only
it's
takes a
true.
second for them to have the opportunity for what they want.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It's also like I realized I don't really have any like safety. I didn't have any safety like items, put it that way. Like I
Yeah,
never
like
had
self-defense.
self-defense stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying like I don't have a gun, but I didn't even have like pepper spray.
Yeah.
I didn't even have like a flashlight. You know, all these things are defense protection for you.
Yeah.
So I picked up a couple of items. I also learned that my Stanley Cup
Love a Stanley Cup.
can be used as a weapon.
I believe it. They're so.
It's about 40 pounds.
Yeah.
It's 40 ounces
Yeah.
of water.
They're extreme.
It's water in it.
Nice.
And to keep me hydrated. But I mean, if someone's coming at you, you got to use whatever, you know, resources you have.
It's true.
And so this, I believe, could knock somebody out.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I never thought about that.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
Yeah, it is a weapon.
Told my husband, watch out, I got my Stanley.
I got my Stanley Cup, baby. Watch out.
So I never thought about it like that, but it all goes like to insurance. Like we all need to be self-aware. Like, and I'm going to always bring insurance into it. But if you're in a parking lot, like I go all the time, look at where you're walking because there's cracks in the sidewalk that you can fall. You know, you can fall off the curb, and there's no handrails. When you're leaving your house, make sure your doors are locked. These are simple things. If you burn candles, make sure you blow them out. Shut off lights, you know, that shouldn't be on. If you notice anything, a leak, water running, make sure you do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, these are all things about being aware, which it all tags into being safer people.
Of course.
So I was really grateful for that opportunity to learn about that and
That's
learn
really
how
cool
to defend
stuff.
myself.
Yeah.
And if somebody came after me, like how to help
How to
myself,
react,
how to
yeah.
react, you know, but you got to keep practicing it.
You do, and I think it's just like everything. It's muscle memory.
It's muscle memory, and so
Yeah.
your body. But you know, it's also when that happens. Like if somebody does come after you, a lot of times it's like your adrenaline and your instincts like pick up, and
That
you
fight or
become
flight.
you become like very alert or whatever, and
Yeah.
you can, you know, get out of there and hopefully like fight them off, make noise. Because people don't like noise and they don't want to
No,
fight. You
they
know, they
don't.
want something easy. And so that's why, and like sadly to say, I've had at times that somebody has put something in my drink
Yeah.
in my high school years, you know, and stole money from me. And I don't know what else they did. You know, when I
Yeah.
got up, my money was gone.
Yeah.
And I did confront them about it. But then I realized later that probably wasn't the best thing to do. Because he said, oh, why are you beating around the bush? You took yeah, I think you took my money.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's because they want somebody who's weak.
They want vulnerability.
Vulnerable, and when
Yeah.
you're not able to, you know, be coherent, they want that. So if you've got to fight off and make noise. And they also said, and my other client's like, oh, I'm so glad that you went and did that. But he said, don't ever let them take you from A to B. Don't ever let them move you.
Yeah, that's when it gets very dangerous. Yeah, it's true.
Which
Especially
I love
now.
this stuff. So I have my notes.
Yeah.
So
You're
I want to
ready
promote
go.
it because I feel like there's a lot of people that don't know, but I'm like, oh my God, how many times have we gone places and, you know, you feel like uncomfortable and you feel like somebody's like following you, you know,
Yeah.
that's your instincts. So you got to listen to them sometimes.
You do. And I think you have to listen to yourself too.
You should have listened to, I should have gone this before you went to your trip to Japan.
You should, you should have. It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
I appreciate it though now.
Yeah. So thank you. All right, we're here with Tom Lehman, the mobile home king, as I like to call him. He is doing great things in our community with his team, which is called the Property Solutions Team. And so I want to ask you, what made you get into being a mobile home dealer?
So and thank you for having me, first of all. We've known each other for
Number
years.
two.
I came into this business as a flip guy. And after doing flips at the higher end, I really saw the need for the affordable housing. And then I switched into that where that's all we worked in. And then when all the interest rates went crazy, and my whole business model changed then because we had the acquisitions company to get us the projects that we could renovate and sell, normally to first time home buyers, because we were in that price range. But with the collapse of, basically free money, we could no longer keep that model going. And as you see it now, where interest rates 7%, and the average price for an entry level home at $400,000, and that doesn't count Orange and Osceola County in Central Florida. There's no more affordable housing, and manufactured homes became the affordable housing option. So after doing projects to where we bought from a dealer, we became the dealer. So then that way we could offer more options and savings to our customers.
Wow. So to become a dealer, you have to have a license, right? To maintain
Absolutely.
a license. And
Yes.
to have the license, do you have to take an exam or anything or no?
You have to, there are courses in compliance work to take. You have to have all the correct insurance, and you've helped with all of that. Insurance for the company as well as the dealership, right? You have to have the insurance bond, and it's a process. The hardest part is probably finding a location, because we are a licensed dealership, and we can't have our dealership. It's like, so if we want to work with, say, one brand, they all have protected territories, so you
Oh,
can't be within so many miles of them. That was a huge issue for us in finding the right location, because we are at the way our dealership is set up. We actually work with several different manufacturers, so we had to get that worked out. Took a while.
oh, wow. I never knew that. I don't think anybody knows that unless they're, doing this.
Well, think
Wow.
about it. You don't see two Toyota dealerships in the same neighborhood, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
because it is considered, motor vehicle type thing. So that makes total sense. So the next question was, what inspired you to start this? But I feel like you explained it with the need
Yeah,
for affordable housing, which I think a lot of people would say is a total need right now because the average home is 400,000. The average person, single man or woman, has to make 101,000 to live an average life, which is for most families, they don't make that together,
absolutely. Yeah,
and
yep.
then younger people, first time home buyers that have children, I don't know how they're supposed to have that kind of money to buy a house and then have like a $3,000 mortgage payment or more. So that's a great need.
Yep, and
So,
especially, those rates are going to be here for a while, and
right.
it's just people have to get used to, this is the world we live in.
It's the norm because I think when I bought my first house like 20 years ago, I think my rate was 7 or 8%, and that was what the normal was. And I think the house I bought was like 101,000, and I barely had like any
Yep,
money. And I remember that was like the
the
norm,
norm.
and it
Yep,
wasn't any other way because the payment for the house was like the same as what a payment for an apartment was. So it was kind of similar to
absolutely.
what it is now, or
Yeah.
less in that aspect. Have you always been in this industry with selling homes, renovating homes, or prior to this, you had another career?
Oh yeah. So I worked for a consulting company for years. So out of grad school, I worked for Pfizer, and then after
Oh,
Pfizer, when they were doing they were merging and whatever with AHP. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep. I went into, when they bought me out, I couldn't work for another company. I went back to what I put myself through school with, which was health food. And partner and I, we got together again, the same one, and we had a nutrition stores. We ended up being in 3 states: New York, New Jersey, and Florida, because he was down here. And that's what brought me here eventually, to where, well, why would I want to do this up in New Jersey where I can do it in Florida too, and still have my New Jersey and New York stores and not have winter anymore?
and not have the snow and the sleet. Wow. So you sold health foods like supplements, vitamins, and
Yep.
all of that?
Yep. So
Oh, wow.
if you go back to we started again in the late 90s, and we had the first juice bar concept that people, where people will come in, have protein shakes, really nice. We brought in designer and we built out a bunch of stores that way, to where we also had them in New York sports clubs, up in New York and New Jersey, workout worlds, and then a bunch of single ones down in Miami. And then
Oh,
'08 happened. People couldn't afford milk, let alone what we were selling. And I just took a break. I walked away.
gosh. Wow. I never knew that. I learned
Mhm.
something new.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Wow. Which I feel like it makes sense because now people are like cutting out certain things because like health food and supplements are so expensive. I mean, food in general is so expensive. Taking care of yourself is an expensive industry. It's expensive endeavor and regardless. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So when someone is going to purchase their first home and let it be a manufactured home, what is there something that you think that they should know and they should look out for?
Today, I think the biggest expense with buying the home outside of, say, the land and the home are the septic systems, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so with the law change last year, septic systems can run $20,000 now.
Oh, I know.
And if you are in what's called the BMAP area in Florida, you put our address in, it will show you. And if you have, once you have your perk test for your soil, if you have a bad soil test and you need a raised mound, they could be 18, 19, $20,000. So that would be one thing to always consider, because that's a huge expense. If you have well and septic, and that could run you up to 30 grand, right? So maybe you would consider trying to find a lot that has access to city water or sewer. Instead, you may and you will overpay a little more for that, but more times than not, that overpaying saves in the long run.
Wow. And does that money include the drain field? It includes the
Yeah,
septic tank?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I'm on septic, sadly, and I didn't know until I had an issue. And my house is only an '06 home. And
Okay.
so half of our neighborhood has sewer and half doesn't. So I'm on the side that doesn't. And so I've replaced my drain field already in 2019 because I guess it went bad, but it was in like a system that shouldn't have been used for this house because it was like pantyhose out there. So now I got like the Mac Daddy system, which is supposed to last me forever or until I die. But none of my neighbors have replaced theirs. And I think it's because mine was in the middle of the cul-de-sac, but I've noticed my soil here is horrible. And we did have an issue, like you said, they came back and the septic wasn't large enough and they had to move it back because it goes by like the square footage of your home or something like that, the
Well,
size.
every area is a little bit different. It could go by the size of your home. Some of them go by just by bedroom size. Okay.
Oh,
So it all depends. And like, one county says if you're a 4 bedroom, you're this price and this size. But the same area in a different county might say, oh, but that's 2,000 square feet. But you could be a
oh.
3 bedroom at 2,000 or a 5 bedroom and still have to put in the larger unit. So
Oh,
everyone's a little bit different on that.
yeah. And when they purchase the home from you, the clients, is that including the septic system and the well if it needs those items?
So we can do it all. We can just sell the unit. If you want to buy just the unit and handle it all yourself, okay, we can handle that. And we can sell you the unit, do all the work for you on your land. We will go. We closed this week on somebody's they came to us, they wanted us to find the land and put it all together for them because they wanted a little bit special, house.
Hmm.
And we did that. And then we do the traditional where we buy a lot of land, as you know, and we put units on them and then we sell them to end buyers.
So they're already ready. So it's just like the regular house. They don't have
Yep.
to do all that. I think that
Yep.
would be the easiest for any buyer, especially a new buyer or anybody. Just come to you. "Hey, this is what I want and find it, or what do you have available without having to deal with all that. Because it sounds like a big hassle and a big mess and it's expensive if
You
you're
know,
having to
if
pay for individually. Hmm.
it is, it's really good that we are the dealer because we can customize it to where the one we're having delivered for this client that we closed on for them this week. They wanted, granite countertops. They wanted a waterfall in their kitchen. They have
Oh,
a triple wide that has the third section has the kitchen and a master, with a covered porch in between.
Oh,
It's
nice.
really amazing. It's screened in and all. That's what they wanted, and their budget was good, but their timeline, they wanted it now. Where if they were going to build it, your 10 months, we were end to end in about 90 days for them.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So it's
Yeah.
quicker.
Oh, much quicker.
Yeah, I think houses can take, like you said, 9 months to a year, depending on the delays and everything like that. Mm-hmm.
You know, we're built in a factory to factory conditions, so you're not out in the sun, the weather, and
Right.
it comes off when we order it, depending on which manufacturer, 6 to 12 weeks.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. Because I know when they do them, they have to make sure they're tied down correctly. And part of that's what takes time because you have to wait for the people to come inspect it, correct? To make sure it's tied down and then put the
Well, you
skirting
hear,
on.
so we have that down. You've worked with us for a long time on this now, so you see how quick we are. We have a system down to where we have project managers who work areas and they're responsible for so many projects every month. And it's their job to be on top of that, to where another dealer has sent all when he's going out of business, he gave us all his old projects because it was taking him a year to 15 months to finish. We
Oh,
are
wow.
we are end to end, depending on the county and permitting, but usually 120 days is our max,
Oh,
right?
geez. Mm-hmm.
So if you're in Polk County, we can be 100 days. If you're in, say, Pasco, it's about 120. Hernando is weird now because they got hacked, and the permit timeline over there is 3 to 4 months now, right?
Oh, wow.
But my project managers, it's their job to make sure those people come out and do the inspections as soon as possible.
Mm. And can you work or build one in every county? Or, I mean, with the exception as like probably Miami, that's a little too far, but in most counties, would you be able to help
I can
somebody?
build anywhere in Florida. We've sold units down as far as Broward, but we haven't sold in Miami. We haven't put anything together down there, but we could. We just brought on a new project manager. Okay, when he left a large manufactured home community company where they have, I think, 17 communities, 4 states. He builds mobile home parks for them, right? So when he left, he was doing 96 projects in 4 states,
Oh, wow. So he was all
virtual.
over the place virtually.
Virtual, right? So that's why I
Yeah.
brought him on to build mobile home parks, but to expand our footprint as far as we can go.
Wow. That's a really good add-on to your business. He's very
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah. And then I know what are, which I probably have some, we always hear it's trailer park, trailer park. So that's like a misconception. So what do you think is the probably largest misconception about, mobile manufactured homes in today's world?
That they're the ones you see from the TV shows like Breaking Bad, the guy making the meth in it. You walk into a lot of these and you're not going to know you're in a manufactured home. From the ceiling fans that you would have in your home to the granite countertops if you want, to the stainless steel package, sliding glass doors, tile showers, just like a home. They are the new affordable housing, right? And so they look amazing. Even the base ones
They
are
do.
really nice. We have them with drywall, all tile showers, granite countertops. Same thing as you would have in a home. So that's the
They're
misconception.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're beautiful. I
yep.
see them, and even when I see people who come to me to insure, mobile homes that are older, if they've maintained it, they look beautiful. I'm like, that looks. You need to come decorate my house. They look great, like and they take pride in it. And I think a lot of people, think it's
Yeah,
like they're not as sturdy, they're gonna blow down, but, like, with all the new codes and stuff, aren't they able to withstand really strong winds and
140 plus, right? So that's a big number. And it's even more if you're within so many miles of the coast, you have to be built to a different wind zone.
oh,
Okay.
wow. Mhm.
All of Florida is a wind zone 2, but then when you're on the coast, just like it's a little higher grade, it's wind zone 3, which doesn't get any bigger than that. But those are able to, take care of the really big hurricanes. But honestly, look, I mean, a category 5 coming is a category 5.
Correct.
Thankfully, those are going to do damage no matter what, and you always evacuate for those. You don't stay around.
Right. It depends. Yeah, exactly. I mean, any house can have damage. A tree can fall through a home or a mobile modular. I mean, it's all the same.
Right? Yep.
Yeah. If the hurricanes come in, you got to just get out of the way and be safe.
That's
Um,
it.
right. And I think, like you said, it's becoming more and more affordable, more and more accepted. Like people are building these, they're building them brand new. They're
Yeah.
easier, they're faster, and they a lot of people who don't want to be in the city, like in a overcrowded area and have to deal with all that traffic. They don't want to be in an HOA, maybe. In most cases, they can have their own house, their own property, have whatever animals they want and are allowed to have. So it's nice.
It's just a freedom to do what you want quicker and
Yes.
at a price that makes life easier for people, right? I mean, if you
Right.
want to build something and take 10 months, 11 months and be 500,000, or build something that takes 6 weeks to 12 weeks and be at 300,000,
Right.
different
And then you
numbers.
have more money, you can always add on. Because I've seen some, they have the, beautiful home and then they build like a shed, like not a shed, but like one of those big, metal,
Barn dominiums, barn
workshops.
type. Yep, yep.
Exactly, a pole barn, they can use it for anything. And then they have beautiful land.
We've
But
done that for people. We've done that.
you've done the barndominiums? Oh, nice.
If someone asks for it, we just go and price it and say, hey, this is what it costs, and this is I mean, so we didn't build it for them. We brought in a company that we work with,
Yeah, did it. And you just
and they
added it
did it.
on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can get that all tied into the mortgage now. And especially if you own the land and have good credit, 5% down gets you the loan on everything. Right. And so it's almost, we're just learning about this as we get into this program more and more. But if someone owns land, 5% down on the unit and the setup services for everything with good credit. And the interest rates are maybe 7.99 with good credit.
Oh, wow.
That's great, and especially at 5% down, and it's not a real hassle for either us or the buyer. I just think we're going to really roll out a program July with that, to where we are announcing all these programs that we work with the lending companies on, because it's so much easier now for, say, you to go buy a piece of land that you own. If you
Right.
own it, the lender will put, if with 5% down, you're going to be built and ready to go in 12 weeks.
Wow, I gotta start looking for some land. That
There you
sounds
go.
like and then today I heard something. So I was at a seminar that this nonprofit runs it, and I help them teach insurance issues on it. But they are for first-time home buyers, and it's a course they take all day. And after they're done, they're eligible to get a grant, with the county. And the lender that was there today said the grant doesn't qualify for mobile homes; it'll qualify for modular homes.
Okay.
So I wanted to know what's the difference between said manufacturer mobile and a modular home.
Okay, so they're both built in factories.
Okay.
Uh, you have two different types of modular homes. You have on frame and off frame. On frame is built on a frame just like a manufactured home is. Off frame is built on floor joists and beams just like a regular house. They are built to the local housing regulation standards, okay? The code.
Okay.
They
The
have
codes.
plans just like it. So if you were going to build a modular home, you would have to say, okay, I want this model. Then they have to do an architectural plan, like with any house, for that model. And you are considered a single family residential frame house. They take a
Right.
little longer. They are, you're on average, you're going to be 30 to 35,000 more for that.
Okay.
Okay. They are set instead of you are set. Do you know what? It's a stem wall that they put them on. Okay.
Right.
So it's considered a slab foundation now because it's a footer slab with a stem wall that it sits on.
Oh.
So it's a little bit different than the manufactured, but they are considered single family frame, especially if they are off frame. Those are always considered single family. by appraisers and lenders.
Right.
It's just the on frame can be iffy. So we have done both.
Okay.
We work with a company, another one of our manufacturers, and they build duplexes, modular duplexes.
Oh, wow.
They are
That's amazing.
phenomenal looking, and they only build high end items, so they're very expensive.
Right.
But they build single family ones as well, and they are really good. So we work with two of them like that, Champion and True Homes.
Oh,
They right here in Florida. We only work with Florida manufacturers.
it's
We've worked
easier.
with ones out of state. It's easier, but when you're bringing something from a different state, there's always issues. They never
It
want to
does.
come and fix their work. Okay.
Yeah.
Even with the warranty that they're responsible for. So we ended those relationships because we don't mind. We sent our guys to do it all the time. But when it's thousands upon thousands and they don't want to come fix their work, it just wasn't worth it for us anymore. So then we just established all our manufacturers here in Florida. And it's really helped us, up our level, gain what we're able to do for people and the timeline.
Right. It's quicker. So those are more expensive, those homes.
Yes,
So
modulars are more expensive, but they're
modulars.
single family. They're single family residential considered.
So that people can get those homeowners grants. So
Yes,
it may be a more affordable option than the, homes that are available now that are non-modular. Okay,
right.
that's good to know. And so the interest rates you said are about 7.99 for these. Is that a little bit higher than the regular single family home? Or are they kind of like the same interest
Well,
rates?
so if we were gonna do a package and you own the land and you had good credit, those rates are about 7.99, because those are a different type of loan.
Oh,
Those
okay.
those are called chattel loans, because the land isn't involved.
Oh,
But
got
when
it.
you go and have a regular one where you have the unit on the land, those rates are pretty much the same as regular home rates.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
they're based on your credit, they're FHA, they're VA, every type of loan is available for these. The only difference would be that some lenders don't work with single wides. Maybe 40% don't, but they all work with double wides.
Got it. That makes sense. And then the double wide is typically larger, right? For the people that don't know, it's larger than a single wide. Just so
Yeah,
you
the single wide, the biggest one that we carry is 72 feet long. It's about 1,100 square feet.
Oh,
Now we
wow.
have some double wides that are smaller than that. Okay, we do.
Oh,
But then we can go up to 3,500 square feet.
oh,
Yeah, they can do quadruple wides. Okay,
oh my
um,
gosh.
you just keep putting them together for the size you want and how you want to configure it. It's really neat. Like they have a machine, like, it's one of those graphic things where they just build it for you. Oh, we want it to look like this, and they just keep adding on sections,
Like
right?
the people that had the patio in the middle of the rooms. I like
Yeah,
that. I want to see that.
yeah.
Wow. That's really neat because you can customize it more to how you want. I mean, you can do that in a house, but you got to pay $500,000 too by
At
the
least,
time that you're done.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yep.
So, what is your best advice for somebody who's wanting to get into the mobile home market in, real estate? What would you think would be for them? How would how would they benefit from maybe learning from you or somebody else to
I
get
would
into
definitely get into the education side first because, you know, um, there's always going to be a learning curve. This is
yeah,
different. When I bought houses and renovated them, I never, ever, ever got a survey. Didn't care, right? Now you have to have a survey because this is raw land, and there's a lot of issues that come up. We've been bitten by the bug. We built a system based on our mistakes, and even I brought in a team of consultants to streamline everything we do, who have worked with other dealers and much larger companies like mine, because I didn't want to take the lumps anymore. Because they get expensive, right? Like you're making
yeah,
mistakes that cost 60, 70,000 when it comes to land sometimes, right?
right,
Those can be really detrimental to your business. My wife's out there, so my marriage, right? If I screw up like that again, because I've done it, what could go
yeah.
wrong survey came in late and turned out there was a drainage easement across it, and my buildable area was shortened. I couldn't build the size unit I wanted to make it profitable for us. You
Oh,
know, so even in our contracts are worded differently on land because, if you get a survey back, the survey may say you need an environmental easement survey now. So then we
right.
have to have all this time built in for that. And also in the end, it says we must be able to build a home of a certain size in the addition part, or we get all our escrow back. Because sometimes we're putting a lot of escrow down on these bigger lots. And I've lost a couple thousand before because I didn't have that verbiage in there. And like you, I use Joe Siegel for everything. And we sat down, I said, how do I avoid this next time? And we created the verbiage for the contracts. So yeah, education. You should always be educating yourself in this business
Right.
because if you're not, there's going to be someone who comes along and just blows past you because of it, right? You know this.
Yeah. Educating and ask questions. There's no stupid
Always
question.
yeah, there's no stupid questions. There's that stupid
Never.
mistake because you didn't want to ask.
Because you didn't want to ask. You're right. Wow. That's
Yeah.
really good information. And then for the first time home buyers, if anybody's looking for a home, they can contact you and your team, or do they need
Absolutely.
to contact a realtor? Or could they do
Both
either?
ways. So we
Okay.
have a partnership with our own brokerage, so we can help them that way. They could get their realtor and call us, and we could put together the package. We don't mind. We do a lot of it's this right. Our job is to get people into houses. Okay.
Right.
Okay. We're doing an education thing for like 50, 60 realtors this week, just because we want to work with them because there's this huge space of people who are approved for loans, but there's no houses for them.
Right. They're not approved for that higher amount, or they don't,
They don't
and
want to go
realtors.
there either, right?
Mhm. They don't
You
wanna
know,
go there just because 'cause you're approved for it. It's like, just because you have that money, maybe not in your pocket, but you don't always wanna use it because then it's keeping you from being able to do other things and live the life that you want.
so you want to have a home and a life. You just don't want to have a
Yes.
home that you barely can make ends meet on, right? Because
You
then
don't
it's
want the
not.
home to own you. Yeah, like they
And
say. Mhm.
and you want to be able to have life and not be a renter anymore either. If you buy one of these, the land, especially land, is appreciating no matter what. The unit,
Correct.
doesn't appreciate like that for sure, but the land does. Take care of it. You're not going to lose money when you sell because you're getting the tax write-off. You're getting the breaks that way. Because look, I'm a landlord. I understand people need to rent. I help my tenants into homes because
Right.
we always ask them, do you want us to report all your payments?
That's
Because we
good.
want them to have that credit history to go buy a house. Okay.
Wow.
One of my tenants already bought a unit off of us. I
Oh,
loved
wow.
it. I loved it.
That's
Because
great.
they were 40, 43 years old buying their first home
Oh
because
my god.
they've been renting for 20 years.
Because they didn't know and you helped them, so that's amazing.
They have their own business and do everything cash.
Oh,
I know. And but you know what we had to talk about? He had all the toys, right?
of course.
Over there, he has like $1,000 drones, 2 jet skis, all this. It's like,
It won't help you in your future, those things don't appreciate, like you said, the land always will, and the house,
I
he's always gonna need a place to live. You can
always,
give
right?
away some of those toys.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
I
have
think
those
it's
toys, so
I don't either. I
I
think
don't have
it's
time.
great. I don't have time. Exactly. It's just gonna sit there and create dust like everything else in my house. So
Yes.
I think it's great that you educate and you give back and you're so knowledgeable and like open to telling people about it. And then
Yeah.
because I think like there's misconceptions. People think trailer, and I'm like, it's not your grandma's trailer. It's like a beautiful
That's
home.
yeah. Yeah.
It's not what you think it is, and it's so much more than that. And if you want to join me another time, maybe we can go and tour one, like when you're completed
Yeah.
with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to
Absolutely.
plan that. I think that would be great and people would like to see it and it would be like live in action. And
Yeah.
because I'm seriously looking for land that I want to buy something and eventually put something on it. And I'm thinking this would be like a great thing for me, to do for an investment, later on. But I really want to see one of your houses like during
Whenever
the
you want to.
process.
Yeah. If you want to see the process or we can start seeing one, that we're buying the land and then how
Mhm.
quick it takes and do a
And
little,
go through the process. We can do like a
yeah,
couple little things. Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
awesome. Yeah.
Well,
So,
thank you. So thanks
no,
for
thank you.
joining
This was
me.
great. Always.
We're gonna
Always.
wrap it up and then we'll see you again. We'll plan the tour. We'll
Yes.
do like a 3-step tour, setup, completion, and final. I think that would
Awesome.
be
Look
great.
forward to it. Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you. Thanks,
All right.
Tom.
Take care. Bye
Enjoy your
bye.
weekend. Bye.
I will too.
Bye. Thanks so much for listening and joining us. If you haven't already, please share, subscribe, and like our episodes and our podcast. Also, leave a review. It will be so helpful to us, and we would so appreciate it. Also, if you want to join us at any time, we're open to any guests joining us in person and on Zoom. We post and record episodes bi-weekly, so that's twice a month. Also, they're posted on our socials, which is Facebook, Secured Insurance Group, Instagram, Colleen Insurance Lady. This podcast was hosted by myself, Miss Colleen Pacheco, and recorded and produced and edited by Sean Spazzato. Our podcast cover art was designed and created by Norma Pacheco, and our intro and outro music is created by Lounge Bar by Geronic. Goodbye.